Yeah, here we go. Fitch will kick off going right to left on your computer, your radio dial, whatever may have you. And Montville kicks off to Fitch. Fitch receiving. Kick is up in the air. And it's a squib kick short, taken by an up man by Fitch. It looks like Montville tried to catch Fitch surprising with an onside kick, backfired on him. Fitch will take over 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line. Good field position coach for the Falcons to start the game. And we're going to get a good look at young Tyler Nelly, junior quarterback, who runs the option for Coach Mike Ellis.
That was interesting because I was listening to the pregame conference with the referees, and Tanner Grove was very concerned about Fitch onside kicking, and then he opened with an onside kick.
There you go, Nelly in a wing formation, full house backfield. Handoff inside to Hollis Scott. Scott turns upfield, ball's on the turf it looks like, and recovered by Nelly. First play of the game, a good front line surge by the Montville Indians, and that'll push the ball back about 3 yards. We'll bring up 2nd down, and let's call it 12. Fitch from their own 47. So, Coach, right there, a little mistake on the halfback exchange.
That's the issue with an option offense like that is that, high risk, high reward both, But quarterback was reading the handoff, and if the fullback and quarterback on the same page, that's what happens.
We've got some slippery weather out there. It's starting to sprinkle a little bit. Falcons come back up to the line. Nelly under center. Looks over the defense. And in motion, inside handoff. It goes once again. Nelly keeps it down the line. Tyler puts his head down, grinds out, and gets about 7 or 8 yards. A good pickup that time by Tyler and Nelly. Coach, in that time, the instinctual feel to pull it out of Hollis' Scott belly and keep it himself and come down the line.
Yeah, that's it's instinctual, but it's also many hours of drill work. Should I pull it? Should I keep it? And they do all the tough reads, and he's gotten so much better. He's a sophomore last year, had to go through his lumps. Now he's really good at it.
Starting to get it, as Coach Mike Ellis would say. 3rd down and 4, Fitch from the Montville 45-yard line. Nelly under center. Scott behind him. Nelly down the line, keeps it himself, and he is stuck at the line of scrimmage. That time, Montville was ready for that option down the line. We'll bring up 4th down and very short for the Fitch Falcons.
Yeah, this will be decision time because they're in Montville territory. So a lot of people would go for it in this scenario. It looks like Fitch is going to.
Hey, Coach, would you go for it in this situation?
I would, for sure.
You're on the sidelines right now. You'd go for it.
No question about it. I actually would try to draw him off probably. That's a long count him and try to draw him off. If they didn't jump, then we would go for it.
That's the coach. I mean, he's got a couple of state championship rings under his belt. We'll get into that as we move along. So here we go. 4th down and 2 from the Montville 42.
Oh, they're spread.
The spread formation.
Yeah, they're going to kick it probably. Yep.
Nelly, who handles the punting duties, that's what he does. He punts it away. Kind of caught Montville off guard a little bit. Nobody back deep to receive. The ball is downed at, let's say, the 16-yard line. So we'll get a first look at that Montville offense. And right now, 2-0, Coach. Montville going through a little bit of growing pains. Have got a couple of early season wins under the belt. How important is it for a road team to get off to a good start?
Well, it is important in the first quarter. But I think both teams are similar in that they started sophomore quarterbacks last year. They both took their lumps. This kid is the kid on Montville's team, Luke Hall, has come a long ways. Tanner and his group like him.
Power I formation, Luke Hall under center. Hall the junior, hands off, right side. Big handoff and run, that time by Nick Angel. He turns it upfield. Good gain on the play. That time good for about 12 yards and went off that left side, Coach, and had a good pickup.
Yeah, it looked like Montville's offensive line really came off the ball well. It took a while for that one to develop. It didn't really hit very quickly, but they were still able to pick up a first down. It was good execution on Montville's part.
Yep. Nick Angel, senior captain, number 5. He's in the backfield. He's in a deep power I spot. Hall comes to the line of scrimmage, under center. Looks over the defense, takes it, hands off the Hall again, right side. Same play, he's got it at an angle, and another good gain.
Yeah, same play, power off tackle. They're folding the guard around, doubling the end, and folding the guard around.
Coach has called a few of them, a time or two, and he picks up 7, let's call it 8 yards, and brings up 2nd down and short, and a very simple but good start here for the Montville Indians on the offensive end.
Yeah, Montville's running 2 tight ends, and Fitch is in there 3-4 that they've run for years. And what happens is they a lot of times have kids that are supposed to be on the split end side. They have to play it tight because there's 2 tights, and looks like they're attacking that.
2nd down and 1, Montville from their own 38-yard line. Inside handoff that time goes to the big fullback, number 55, Dasani Vanette. He puts his head down, gets across the line of scrimmage, and gains 5 yards.
Yeah, if you have a number 55 in the backfield, you can expect him to, because he can't receive, he's not allowed to, so you don't even have to account for him on the defense. He can run, but he's not allowed to catch the ball. So he's either there for blocking or running, period. That's it.
And he's a big boy, too, and he showed at that time. Montville, back-to-back first downs in their initial possession. They approach midfield to be 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line, methodically moving the ball down towards midfield. Hall under center. Power eye set again. Single wide receiver at the top of the formation. Hall takes it, drops, looks right, throws. He's got his man. He looks downfield, and he's got him. Gennaro Davis down. 20-yard pitch and catch that time for Hall and Davis. And there he is, one of your playmakers, senior captain Gennaro Davis.
Yeah, that was well thrown, and Davis went up for it and caught it at its highest point. It looked like the Fitch's guy was trying to do the same thing, but just misjudged it. It actually wasn't very poor coverage. It was good coverage. It's just that the Davis kid just outjumped him, really.
Yeah, good throw by Hall, too, to the outstretch of the defender. So Montville in business. 1st down and 10 from the Fitch 30-yard line. Luke Hall under center, power eye set. Davis top of the formation. Then we go back to Angel up the middle. He is met at the line of scrimmage and stuffed.
Helmet's off.
Tough running inside that time by Nick Angel, but you got to pound the inside of the line of scrimmage. At that time, the Falcons are ready for it, Coach.
That's the same play that Fitch, Montville ran twice down at the other end, the power off tackle, and Fitch did a great job of squeezing that one down that time.
The battle up front, important in a high school football game, and both teams trying to establish the line of scrimmage early. Montville's offense has done that thus far. They'll bring up 2nd down and 9 from the Fitch 29. Again, power eye formation. Davis top of his formation, lone receiver. Inside handoff goes again to Angel. Nothing doing that time. He is met by a host of Falcons. We'll call it no gain. We'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
Same play to the other side, but I don't know Fitch well enough, but it looks like that might be their normal tight end side, and that's why they tried to run to the split end side, their normal split end side. But with 2 tight ends, the split end kid, number 24 out here, he has to play the tight end because he's normally playing the split end. But that's what a 2 tight end set will do to you.
And you see it all, don't you?
Yeah.
No, you see it all. All right, here we go. 3rd down and let's call it 10. Loss of a yard on the play. Luke Hall in the shotgun formation now. And I think Tanner Hall wants to call timeout and talk things over. This is a big play. Coach, you get 4, 5, 6 yards in this play. You think it's 4-down territory.
I think it is anyway. They're on the 30-yard line. They're not gonna punt from here. Even if it's 4th and 10, they're not gonna. I don't think they'll punt from here unless it's some kind of surprise tactic to put it in the corner or something like that. But I think they're gonna go for it either way.
So all right.
I would think they're gonna try to pick up half of it though. Not pick up the whole chunk.
He's Coach Mike Emery. If you guys don't know who he is, you've been living underneath a rock in southeastern Connecticut for the last 40 years. Coach, you've been on both sidelines of both these teams. Montville, in Fitch. Did you ever think, some 35, 40 years ago, you'd be calling a game up in the booth?
No, never thought
all
that.
right, well, listen, we're glad to have you. That's for sure. It's we're going to get into some of the tradition with Fitch football and the whole 9 yards. We're going to have a lot of fun with this broadcast. Casey O'Neill, the normal voice of Game Day, is out in Nashville, Tennessee.
Good for him.
He's performing. We'll get into that a little bit as well, too. So here goes Montville. It'll be 3rd down and 10 from the Fitch 30. Hall out of the shotgun. Gennaro Davis, his main guy at the bottom of the formation. Hall comes back. He's pressured. He's got a dump. Nothing doing there. Big push that time by Fitch. Zach Letelier brought the heat from the outside, forcing Hall to throw that ball sooner than what he wanted to.
Yeah, Tanner Grove is a former wide receiver, so he likes balance. So they'll throw the ball probably more than Fitch will, and they'll probably get into that spread look. Although Fitch has a shotgun package too.
Oh, here we go. 4th down and 10. Certainly not an impossible down and distance, but would have been easier 4th and 5. 4th down and 10. Hall out of the shotgun from the Fitch 30. Looks over the defense, takes the snap, looks Gennaro Davis's way, throws down the sidelines.
Wow.
Gennaro Davis.
Wow, what a catch.
One-handed.
What a catch.
Touchdown, Gennaro Davis. 4th down, the gambler. by Tanner Grove paid off. What a sensational catch, Coach. There's your playmaker one-on-one on the outside.
That was interesting because Davis has already shown how good he is. And Fitch played him in press coverage. They brought their corner up and played him, even with 10 yards to go, played him right on the line of scrimmage like a bump and run type thing, and he ran right by him. And perfect throw, beautiful catch, very well executed.
Gennaro Davis, the senior playmaker, 30-yard touchdown reception, puts Montville up 6-0 on a 4th and 10 play. Extra point is blocked up the middle by Fitch, and the score will remain 6-0. But what a start for the Road Warriors. The Montville Indians up 6-0. Fresh junior Luke Hall finding senior captain Gennaro Davis down the left-hand side, Coach. And there you had it. You had one-on-one situation. Throw the ball up there and let your playmaker make a play.
Yeah, and he did, boy. I'll tell you, one-handed grab. The other hand didn't even touch the ball. He grabbed it with his left hand. That was a beautiful catch.
Well, we're here. You're listening to Game Day on theday.com. Keith O'Brien, the sports doctor. Coach Mike Emery in the booth. He has been on both sides of the field. He's coached Montville. He's coached Fitch. He's won state championships. He can read a defense like I can read a sheet of music, that's for sure. He knows what's going on up here. And it's a pleasure to have him. Gang's all here. Mike DeMauro on the sidelines, the entire crew for the Wired Zone package as well. And Montville off to a good start, up 6-0. So a little bit of running, power running, and some good throws on that possession.
That was a nice drive.
Very
good
well
balance.
balanced.
Yeah.
Montville will kick off, going right to left. Kick is up, and it's caught by an up man from Fitch. Figueroa takes the ball, turns upfield. Figueroa's got a lane. He's out to the outside, cross midfield, all the way down to the Montville 30-yard line. Antonio Figueroa on the return. Fitch is in good position, setting up shop right now. Big play, answering the Montville touchdown coach on special teams.
Yeah, this is the second time now Fitch has had good field position. They're already in 4-down territory right away, so we'll see what the option can do here. That was a great run.
Great run, and then just, you know what? Nice job getting behind the blockers and playmakers make plays. Here we go with the Falcons. 1st and 10 from the Montville 35-yard line. Nelly under center. Movement up front. Hands off to Scott. Keeps it himself down the line. Puts his head down and gets 7 yards. Coach, that's pretty tricky because sometimes it looks like he's putting it in Scott's belly and he pulls it out at the last minute.
Yeah, you get a lot of inadvertent whistles when you play a true option team that reads the handoff. So even the referees can't see who has the ball and whether it's the quarterback or the fullback. It happens more often than you think.
Let's call it a gain of 5 on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 5. Fitch from the Montville 30-yard line. Nelly comes up to the line of scrimmage. Same option, look formation. Scott, the fullback, right behind him. He's been his main man all night. That ball is kept by Nelly. He goes down the line, and a shoestring tackle out there could have stopped a really, really big gain. Nelly gets just enough for the first down, but Tyler and Nelly starting to feel it a little bit out there right now for the Falcons.
Yeah, you always have somebody assigned to hand off, or actually a few people, somebody to quarterback, someone to pitch. And what happened there is Nelly got outside of the guy assigned to him. He got outside where the pitch man would be. So the defensive back had to tackle him, which means he had to leave his responsibility to do it.
Chris Connors, number 21, came up and made the stop, and a shoestring tackle at that for the Indians. 1st and 10 Falcons, they are marching. They have the ball at the 25 of Montville. Nelly, under center, down the line, keeps it himself and stuffed. The ball's on the turf, and Montville has recovered. And there we see, that time Montville, big number, 71 in the backfield. Timmy Litziger blowing the play up, ball's on the turf, and Montville recovers.
I don't know if Montville is teaching it that way or if it just turned out that way, but the way the kid tackled him, the quarterback had nothing he could do. The ball was out in front where he has to have it to pitch, but the guy who tackled him kind of stripped him right down. There was no way that the quarterback could have protected it there.
Could that be something they put in during the week to attack an option quarterback?
That's what I'm wondering, actually. You know, if they put the guys who are assigned to quarterback to tackle in a certain way, it's possible.
All right, Montville off the turnover, 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. Hall hands off, right side, Angel pounds it again. No gain, stopped at the line of scrimmage. Montville continuing to pound the ball to senior running back and captain Nick Angel.
Yeah, same power off tackle play. They probably had success with that in the first 2 weeks against Bacon and Woodstock, but not the same caliber team as Fitch. So they had success on the first 2 times they ran it, but now
Fitch has made the adjustment.
Fitch has adjusted to it. They're squeezing it right down. Yeah.
Second down and 10. Montville from their own 27-yard line. Hall out of the shotgun. Inside handoff this time goes to Angel, and he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. He falls ahead for a gain of 2. We'll bring up third down and 8. Coach, same type of play, but out of the shotgun.
Yeah, it was. There's no lead back on that one. It looks like zone blocking, which is basically doubling the down people and then trying to work up to the linebackers. And you usually can get a good push on the line of scrimmage and gain a few yards out of that.
3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Montville up 6-0. Third and 8 from their own 31-yard line. Hall out of the shotgun. Looks right. Looks for Davis. And the ball is overthrown. That time he overshot him. And they like that matchup. They like Gennaro Davis one-on-one against the Fitch safety on the outside. That time, ball just overthrown to the inside a little bit. Davis was looking for that ball more towards the sidelines.
Yeah, it looked like it. It looked like he got rerouted that way. And then, if the quarterback doesn't see it, then he's going to throw it where he thought he was going to be.
All right, Montville back to kick. They will punt from their own 35-yard line, own 33-yard line. Justice Ferris back deep for Fitch to receive the punt. Sun setting here at Fitch High School. A nice sunset overlooking the field. End over end punt. Ferris drops back, lets it go, and will take a gratuitous Montville bounce. And a mistake that time by Justice Ferris cost his team probably 25 yards in field position.
That's one of the hardest things to do, is to get high school kids to actually field punts. They're reluctant to do it because it can cause a big play if they drop it.
And there you see the experience out of Ferris. He's a first-year football player. He's a senior, but it's his first year out of the team. So Fitch, with their backs against the wall here, with 2:41 down 6-0, down on the far end of the field. They are moving left to right. It'd be 1st and 10 from just inside the 5-yard line. And Nelly will come under center, overlooks the defense. Option look again. Scott behind him in the backfield, man in motion. Up front, that time it does go to Scott. Scott puts his head down, coach, and over the left side gets 2 yards. 2nd down and 8.
He's the son of one of my former players, Mike Scott, who was a very good player here, excellent player in the early 90s.
He's a pretty good running back?
Yeah. This guy here is one of his sons. He has like 4 or 5 sons.
Well, I mean, that's how it goes. I mean, you have kids, and the kids following your dad's footsteps and play some football. That's for sure. I mean, Mike Scott was one of the was he on the state championship team you had?
He was he was on the team that was undefeated and didn't get to go to the state championship because of the crazy rules that they had.
There you go. 2nd down and 8. Fitch from their own 8-yard line. Nelly keeps it himself, looks out to the right, looks to Ferris, pass just behind Justice Ferris. That time you saw Tyler Nelly turn, pivot, and throw, try to get a ball to a playmaker on the outside, and just underthrown.
There was 2 Mike Scotts, just to make a correction there on myself.
Okay.
There was one who played in the early 90s, a running back, and in the late 90s who did go to state championships, was a wide receiver and a defensive back for us, played defensive back at Sacred Heart. He was unbelievable in college. He just got better and better and better. I said wide receiver. I don't know how I said that. We didn't have wide receiver.
Anyway, no. Yeah. All right, we'll bring up 3rd down and 8. Fitch from their own 6-yard line. They spread the field. 5 wide receivers set. Now they come back into a bunch formation as a flag down. Probably a delay of game or an illegal procedure.
Yeah, I think somebody shifted. Somebody moved.
3rd down and 8 is not a friendly down and distance for an option team, Coach.
No, it's somebody moved.
Yep, false start up front.
Yeah, option offense. You see it all the time when Georgia Tech gets 3rd and long or Navy gets 3rd and long. It's not an easy down for them. In fact, the college teams would probably run option right here rather than try to throw the ball. They would go to their bread and butter. You can pick up 10 or 12 yards if you have a well-executed option.
Mistakes happen when you throw the ball, Coach.
Yeah.
Spread formation again by Fitch. Here they come, back together into their bunch set. Nelly, looks like a bit of a busted play right there. Nelly's got the ball and stopped for no gain. Very interesting play down there. Kind of looked like a scrum, as it would call it. But nonetheless, Fitch was going to be forced to punt here on 4th down and 10.
Yeah, they lined up in the shotgun, and then they shifted back to their regular set, trying to create confusion for Montville. But it looked like they confused themselves more than Montville.
So the muffed punt, or the lack of fielding the punt from Justice Ferris, cost the team a little field position, and a good hold by the Montville defense, and Fitch was forced to punt. Tyler Nelly does it all. He also punts for the Falcons.
Yeah.
Nelly in his end zone.
He's got a great leg.
Boots it up. Little knuckle dragger there, and ball is down inside of the Fitch's 30-yard line, so not much on that kick, and Montville will take over 1st and 10 from the Fitch 29-yard line.
No.
So he saw a great punt by Montville. They flipped field
Right.
position, and they set up shop right now in pretty good business.
There's the power of specialty teams for you right there. You know, it was a swing of a lot of yards. I don't have it calculated, but here's Montville, you know, deep in Fitch's territory. Really, they're inside the 30, so they're in 4-down territory right now. They got to get something going though. They haven't the last couple of times on the ground. They're going to go shotgun now.
Yep, Hall out of the shotgun. 1st and 10 from the 29. Angel off the left side. He's got some room. Stiffs arms a man and puts it down and gains a good 7 yards on 1st down, Coach. There's that left side that Montville likes to work.
Yeah, he's got an interesting running style. He kind of looks like a Eric Dickerson type guy. He's tall and lean, and he has that long stride that at first looks like he might not be that fast, but he actually is. Some of those kids are so smooth that it doesn't look like they're fast, but they are.
Pony Express, you're really dating yourself right now, Coach. 2nd down and 3, Montville from the Fitch 33-yard line. We are under 30 seconds left to go in the 1st quarter. Hall, shotgun formation, takes the snap, looks right, got his man deep in the corner. Pass is incomplete. He had his man down there on the sidelines going deep for the ball.
That was well thrown because he put it where either his guy was going to get it or nobody was going to get it. And so even though it was an incomplete pass, it was a good decision and a good throw. Good coverage by the Fitch secondary.
Number 19, Marcus Velez in the pattern that time. It was a flag on the play. We'll see what was thrown. Looks like a false start, illegal procedure against Montville, so that play would have been all for 9. So Montville right now, Coach, just got backed up to 5 or 6 yards they had gained on the initial 1st down by Angel.
Yeah.
We are 12 seconds left to go in the 1st quarter.
That's high school football. That's why we only went on 1. That was it.
That was it.
If we were long counted, we called timeout. You know, we didn't even we'd tell the kids no play, no cadence. All they had to do was stay in their stance. We never went on anything but 1.
Simplified things a little bit.
Yeah, we never lost 5 yards.
Never an illegal procedure penalty on coaches' teams in 35 years of coaching. There we go. 2nd down and 8. 2nd down and 9. Hall out of center. Looks right.
Ooh.
Fires, and it's incomplete, and it's picked off by Justice Ferris. Ferris up the left side. Ferris has got a convoy in front of him. Crosses midfield 40, inside to 30, and taken down at the Montville 24-yard line. Justice Ferris. Big play from one of the seniors for the Fitch Falcons. Boy, did he bail his defense out there.
He sure did. You intercept one in the flats, and you're going to have a big play. That's what happened there. It was a slant pattern, and he threw it a little bit behind. And there was the Fitch secondary was right in the right place.
And that brings us to the end of the 1st quarter where Montville leads 6-0 in a very fast-moving football game here from Fitch High School. You're listening to Game Day on theday.com, and check out our link on Facebook as well. Game Day is brought to you by Family First Life. Family First Life is a team environment hiring many current and former athletes because they understand competitiveness and teamwork. If you're looking for part-time or full-time work, apply online at familyfirstlife.com. If you're a current or former athlete looking to earn over $100,000 a year, Coach, if the answer is yes, contact Family First Life at 860-317-1324. Family First Life can meet all your life insurance needs. Again, contact them for a free quote, 860-317-1324. Coach, there you saw a big play, and sometimes every once in a while in the defense, you need to have that happen to be successful, and that time we saw it out of Fitch.
Yeah, all good football teams are defensively good, at least at this level anyway. I think maybe in the pros you can get away with just being offensive, or in college, Division I, that kind of thing. But at high school, you better have a good defense.
You know, what's the old saying, Coach, that 3 things usually happen when you pass the ball and 2 of them are bad?
Yeah, that's Woody Hayes. Woody Hayes' thing. Yeah.
Okay, the old Ohio State coach.
Yeah. It was.
You liked to run the football back in the day, didn't you?
Well, my belief is that they say that fans want to see passing. I think what they want to see is successful passing.
Okay.
Not just any passing, but successful passing. And the thing with us is we would only throw the ball 12 or 13 times a game, but it would be for a lot of yardage.
Big plays. All right. Here we go. Fitch, 1st and 10 to start the second quarter from the Montville 39-yard line, moving right to left on your computer screen, your radio dial. Nelly under center. Hollis Scott behind him, big fullback. Samir Stevens in motion. Stevens gets the pitch, and he is corralled on the outside. That's a big-time play by Nick Helbig, number 55 from Montville. Tanner Grove spoke very highly of Nick Helbig and said he can make some plays out there, and we saw it right there, Coach.
I think Helbig is Fitch's kid. This is
I'm sorry.
the fullback.
Dasani Vinette.
Yeah, the kid that played fullback. That's all right.
I need my glasses back on, Coach. Dasani Vinette, the fullback.
Yes, the kid who played fullback.
All right. Nelly under center. 2nd down and 14. Inside handoff goes to Scott. Scott off the right side. He's got some room.
Here he goes.
Here he comes down the sidelines, and he is going to find the end zone. Hollis Scott, touchdown, Fitch.
Yeah, that was the triple option. They handed the ball to the fullback, Scott, and once he got it in the open, one of the things with the option is, like I said, you have people assigned. So someone was assigned to quarterback, someone was assigned to pitch. Those guys can't tackle the fullback now. They're out of the play.
34-yard touchdown run by Hollis Scott as Tyler Nelly is in to come in to kick the extra point. And that's the thing about the option, Coach. You keep hammering it, hammering it, and eventually you're going to bust it, and that time Scott did.
Yeah.
Extra point is up, and it is high enough and through the uprights. So the Falcons take the lead 7-6 at home here against the Montville Indians. And there you saw the speed of Hollis Scott, too. Everybody thinks of a fullback being a plotter, and getting those tough yards. But, well, he showed some leg there in the open field.
It depends on how you want to use your fullback. Our fullback, we didn't want a plotter there. We wanted someone who had speed. We wanted to have all racehorses in the backfield. We didn't want anyone who was a plotter. If he was a plotter, we put him at guard.
Right. I mean, is that important, though, to have somebody with speed in that position, Coach? I mean, obviously, you got Hamir Stevens out there. He's got a little speed on the edge. But you need that home run hitter when he gets into that second level to make a play.
Well, the difference is he would have gained 8 yards if he was a plotter, and then someone would have tackled him. Still was a positive play, but it's not 30 or 40 yards.
39 yards on that carry, yeah. Well, we get a ball game here at Fitch High School. Fitch up 7-6. Keith O'Brien, Game Day, today.com. The coach, Mike Emery, filling in for me, who I'm filling in for Casey O'Neill, I guess you would call it.
His father played fullback for us, a different offense, a wing T type offense, but he didn't have any plays outside the tackles. All of his plays were traps or off tackle plays.
Hollis Scott's father,
and he was, he gained way over 1,000 yards and scored I don't know how many touchdowns, a lot. He was in the backfield with Mike Jones and Ray Scott, that crew.
Tyler Nelly will be kicking the ball off to Marcus Velez and Gennaro Davis. Tyler Nelly handles the punting, the kicking, the extra points, and the quarterback. He is a special athlete for this Fitch team.
Yeah, he does a lot of things well.
Kick is up. It's away. It's a long, booming kick over the head of Velez. Will go into the end zone. And that will bring Montville 1st and 10 out to the 20-yard line.
That doesn't happen that much in high school football where your kicker can put it into the end zone like that.
Yeah, I mean, how important is it for a high school program, to have somebody, who's come up through the ranks and got the growing pains, and now he's a bit of a luxury for Mike Ellis and Tyler Nelly?
You mean as a kicker?
Yeah, as a kicker, as a quarterback, as everything. It's just very special.
Yeah, sometimes, he goes through his lumps, his growing pains, but he's there now.
Starting to get it. Luke Hall from Montville under center, 1st and 10, power I formation from the 20. Handoff goes to Angel off the left side. He is met by a host of Fitch Falcons, sticks his head down, and then he gets 2 yards. Coach will bring up 2nd down and 8. Tough running right now for the Indians.
It looked like that time they ran to the 2 receiver side, 2 wide receivers, and they were hoping that a 3-4 team sometimes will drop that outside linebacker to cover the receivers, but Fitch was too smart for that. They didn't drop him, and so they had an extra guy in there.
All right, 2nd down and 8 from the 22-yard line. Montville, Luke Hall under center, power I formation. Twin receivers to the bottom of his set. Ball goes to the Angel, tries to get to the second level, and he's wrestled down that time by number 55, Nick Helbig, Coach.
Nick Helbig was at Cutler when I first became the math department chairman or whatever you want to call it for the district, and he was unbelievable at math. Let me tell you, he's a big, strong kid, but he's using his intelligence out here too. I'm sure.
Still learning how to balance my checkbook at 50 years old. Third down and let's call it 4 from the 26. Hall under center, power I formation, inside handoff goes to Vanette, and he is met at the line. He pushes ahead, people. And he is still on his feet, churning and burning. And we're going to call it momentum stopped at the, let's say, 34-yard line. That is a first down, all on true heart and effort that time by Vanette.
Yeah, we talked about the advantage of having the speedster, but now there's your advantage of the big, strong kid.
There's your plotter, Coach, right there. Stick your head down and get us 8 yards.
Yeah.
He did just that. So Montville moving the ball here. 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line.
He looks like a football player to me. You know, he's playing defensive end, tackles someone for a loss. Now here he is carrying the whole Fitch team with him.
Luke Hall under center. Goes to Angel, left side. Gets down the line, puts his head down. Nothing doing that time as he is met by a host of Falcons. A gain of 2. Tough running up front for Nick Angel. Yeah. Not a lot of running room on this series.
Yeah, it was kind of congested inside, and he bounced it to the out, but so did the fullback too. Neither one of them could get the inside area that the play's designed for. Fitch is squeezing it down, you know.
9 minutes to go here. I'm sorry, Coach. 9 minutes to go here in the first half. Montville on the move will be 2nd down and 8 from their own 38. Wide pitch to the outside goes to Angel, and he is wrapped up and tackled for a loss that time. Big number 22 for Fitch. Made a nice play. Lonnie Howard stepped up and stuffed that run in the backfield.
It's usually hard to run wide on a team like Fitch or New London or Norwich, or they usually have great team speed. It's not. If you're just trying to do it, you can do it with the right blocking scheme, but if you're just trying to run wide and use your speed, usually you're not going to have more speed than they are.
You know, Lonnie Howard, you get some time at tailback as well, so you see the speed coming out of his middle linebacker position. Coach the pursuit down the line. Very important.
If he didn't make the play, there was other guys there too. They've got a lot of speed.
3rd and let's call it 12 from the 33-yard line, and it looks like we're going to have another timeout. And Coach Ellis does not like what he sees on the defensive side. He calls timeout. Game day brought to you by Family First Life. Family First Life is a team environment, hiring many current and former athletes because they understand competitiveness and teamwork. If you're looking for a part-time or full-time work, apply online at familyfirstlife.com. Are you a current or former athlete looking to earn over $100,000 a year? Well, if the answer is yes, contact Family First Life at 860-317-1324. Family First Life can meet all of your insurance needs. Again, call them at 860-317-1324. Coach, what is Mike Ellis talking about with his team right now? Situational football, 3rd and 12.
Right, and I think that's probably what it is. He probably wanted to call a timeout to remind his defensive backs that we don't need to press anybody right now. We do not need to play bump and run. We need to play off. Don't let number 7 get behind you. That's if you come up and press him, he's going to be able to get behind you, and that's how they scored their Montville's last touchdowns.
All right. Live from Fitch High School. Fitch leads 7-6. 8:07 left to go.
See number 20 playing off now. He was playing press on the touchdown against 7. Now we see how off he is. That was what the timeout was about.
Shotgun formation. Hall takes it. Inside handoff. Goes that time to number 23, Greg Clark, and he gets nothing as he goes down the line. It looks like a bit of a jet sweep that time from Montville. Fitch wasn't buying. A good timeout, coach, by Mike Ellis.
Yeah, and I think they called it to defend the pass, but the jet sweep is like the toss sweep from underneath the center. You're trying to beat them with speed, and it's going to be hard to beat a team like Fitch with speed. Their defense is fast.
Well, the big play has got Montville to their score, and it seems like right now Fitch's speed on defense has given Montville a little bit of trouble.
Well, yeah, because if they try to go outside, the speed's going to run them down, and they're outnumbering them inside by squeezing it down.
Punt is underway. It's a knuckle dragger. It just takes a Montville bounce and crosses midfield, and Fitch will have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. So we'll get another look at this Fitch offense, which is starting to click a little bit and get a little bit of rhythm. You saw the big touchdown run by Hollis Scott in the last possession. So, is this the part of the game, Coach, where that you start to get a feel of what's going on out there as far as Tyrone goes?
Yeah, especially with an option offense, especially he's getting a feel for what Montville's trying to do to him. The coaches are getting a feel for what Montville's trying to do to him, and if you get a kid that can respond like this guy will,
Nelly to the line, 1st and 10. Fitch from their own 44-yard line. Bit of a full house backfield look. That time Stevens goes in motion, and Nelly's wrapped up and tackled in the backfield for a loss. That time by big number 72, Tyrone Mack.
Yeah, he was standing up. It was something you don't see very often, a stand-up nose guard. He was standing up on the center. And I think they do that. It might be so he can see who's coming in motion and that kind of thing. They might have a stunt planned as if this guy comes in motion, you go this way. If this guy comes in motion, you go the other way. Because Fitch always has someone in motion with this offense. And that might be what he's looking at.
Yeah, big Tyrone Mack out there, big boy making plays on the defensive line.
Yeah.
Coach Tannergrove spoke highly of him last night. He says he's one of the anchors up there up front, and he will have to win the battle at the line of scrimmage, and that play he did. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 14. Fitch from their own 40-yard line, and it looks like another timeout called here by the Falcons.
Standing up again. They found something that they like. See, if you can get him if he can beat the center, then the two guards, it looks like, are covered also, So the center's one-on-one with this kid who's standing up. He knows which way he's going. What they're trying to do, I think, is try to get the play going before it can even develop. The quarterback pulls out, and before he can even make a read, if the nose guard's on him, then they've got some problems. They got to shore that up too.
So you're saying right now, Fitch, what they're talking about right now in the huddles, they see a matchup, they want to go to it, but they want to make sure the kids see it too.
Well, they've got to find out how to block if you have a stand-up nose guard that's getting into your backfield right away. You got to figure out how to block it. They're gonna. I'm sure talking about that right now. They might take the guards and cut down their splits. Option teams like that, big splits. Between them 2, sometimes 3, 4, sometimes 5 feet. But if your guards aren't quick enough to get down and help the center, then if the center can't block that nose guard, then you might have problems. I bet you Montville will come out now again with the stand-up nose guard because it's worked for them.
Well, the man has forgotten more about football than I'll ever know. 6:28 left to go here before half.
He's wrong. He's down.
And
now.
he's down again back in the stands.
Now.
All right, 2nd down and 14. Fitch from their own 40-yard line. Nelly under center. Movement up front. Takes the snap, and he is buried in the backfield. Tyler Nelly sacked that time. Trying to roll out to his right. Hit on the blind side. Will bring up 3rd down and long for the Falcons.
Yeah, even though he's down, it looks to me from up here anyway that the guards are covered, the center's covered, so the center's on his own in this kind of an offense. So.
Coach, when Fitch is going to a passing game and it gets a little more complicated in blocking schemes, does it hurt them?
It's just that they might practice it, but they don't get a chance to run it in games very often. So.
All right, 3rd down and a country mile. Call it 3rd and 20. Fitch from their own 35-yard line. Nelly, inside handoff goes to Scott. Scott gets the ball and sticks his head down and gets 6 yards. Good safe play there. Good safe call by Mike Ellis.
That's a good play in long yardage, often a trap because they'll be spread out a little bit. That was his father's. His father made a living on that.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. Hollis Scott following in his dad's footsteps.
He ran a trap last week for about 40 yards and got tackled. And I said to Mike, geez, I looked at your son and I thought it was you. And he said, well, if it was me, I wouldn't have got caught.
Tyler Nelly in back to kick. Kick is up and away. Good point, Coach. End over end kick taken up front by the Montville up man. Gennaro Davis sticks his head down, laterals the football.
Wow.
That's dangerous play deep in your own territory. And then a flag comes out. So a lateral, then a flag, and I think it was a forward lateral. It looked like to me Gennaro Davis forward passed that ball. That's going to cost his team 5 yards, Coach.
Yeah, if that's what he did, then I think Coach Grove will have some words with him.
That's a dangerous play to make down there, especially when you're in the grasp of a defender.
Yeah, you don't usually want to do that.
It's frowned upon, Coach.
Yeah, it might work once in a while, but it's a risk reward thing. Just like at least the option is something you practice all the time. That's not.
And that's the call. An illegal forward pass, little hand behind the back. You know that call, Coach. What would your lesson be to your young receiver if you come off the field in that? Son?
We would have a chat.
You would have a chat? Okay, we'll leave it in-house. You're going to have a chat. Okay, wouldn't happen again. All right, Montville takes over. 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. Montville offense is bogged down here in the last 3 or 4 possessions, trying to start this thing in gear. Power I formation. Hall under center. Takes the snap. Inside handoff goes to Vanette again. Sticks his head down. He's got some room on the outside. Bounces out. And then you see 15 yards, Coach, by your big fullback.
Yeah, I mean, that's just size and strength. You know, it's really kids bouncing off of them. Fitch, as fast as they are, if you look at them, they're not really big. You know, they've got a great speed on defense, but I wouldn't call them huge. So they have to have good technique on their tackling is to tackle a kid that big.
You got to try and get him down low. Try and get his legs. I mean, he's a tough kid to bring down up top.
Yeah, you got to hold on, wrap your arms, move your feet.
1st and 10 Montville from their own 27-yard line. Hall under center. Hands off to Angel. Bounces off the right side, and he is met at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Nick Angel has had some tough running the last 4 or 5 touches with the football, Coach. Nice job by the Fitch defensive line.
Yeah, his play is taking just a split second longer than the fullbacks because he's deeper. And so by the time he gets there, the hole's closed.
You got to run 7 or 8 yards before he gets to the line of scrimmage.
Right.
Yeah, good point. Good point. 4:15 left to go here in the first half. Entered a very fast-moving first half. Fitch up top, 7-6 over Montville.
Not many throws, so that's a fast-moving game when you don't have to throw.
Second down and 10, Montville from their own 27-yard line. Angel tries the left side that time, and he is met abruptly. Sticks his head down, maybe gains a yard. We'll bring up, 3rd down? And let's call it 9, Coach.
Fitch has started to play a lot of cover 3, so they take their extra safety and move them up on the 2 receiver side. Gets one more guy in the box. You know, it just tells you that they're not really that scared of Montville's passing attack at this point.
Well, you're going to have to keep an eye on Davis. He comes down to the bottom of the formation, number 7. He's their playmaker. Luke Hall under center, 3rd down and 9 from the 26. Hall takes the snap, fake handoff. Looks like a busted play. Angel off the left side. He is tackled for no gain. A little confusion that time in the backfield between quarterback and tailback.
Looked like they were trying to run a counter, but I don't know if it might be something that they don't practice very often, but there was a little bit of confusion there. It's early in the season.
Takes us right about the 3-minute mark. Clock running. Montville will have to punt. 4th down and 11. Antonio Figueroa back deep to receive for the Falcons. We've already seen him make a big play in the special teams game.
Yeah, the kickoff return. He did a nice job with that.
So Fitch with speed all over the field. Punt is, snap is good. Punt is up. Low.
He's not going to
grenade, I would call that on the punt. And then we'll take a drop and stop at the 42-yard line. So, again, a nice job by Figueroa getting away from the ball. Fitch with good field position here. 2:30 left to go in the first half. Coach, do you put this thing in the high gear and try and get 6 before the halftime?
Well, the option offense is always in the high gear, you know. So
yeah,
I mean, they could bust one at any time if someone makes a mistake, you know, especially the fullback. You know, when he gets out in the clear, he's fast.
Second level.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Nelly under center. Fitch 1st and 10 from the 42. Scott's got it. Cuts back, and he is met that time by Tyler Mack. That time you saw the cutback by Hollis Scott in the hole, and Mack held his ground. Nice tackle by the big senior from Montville.
That's interesting, too, because even though we have basically 2 minutes left in the half and a long ways to go, Montville has played every man within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. So they're saying the same thing Fitch was, which is go ahead and throw it.
Yep.
Go ahead. Even with 2 minutes left, go ahead and throw it. They're more concerned with stopping the option than worrying about the throw. Look, nobody deeper than 5 yards.
Crowding the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 8 from the 45-yard line. Nelly, another inside handoff goes to Scott. He's got some room. He's in the second level. Scott to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, down the sideline. Touchdown, Hollis Scott. And then you saw the big play from the fullback, Coach. Once he got in the second level, we saw the speed.
That's it. I mean, if you get him the ball and get him out in the clear with his speed, he looked just like his father on that one.
Oh, like father, like son in that play. Mike Scott, Hollis Scott, 6 points any way you can get it. We're going to have to get a stopwatch on those two guys and see which one's faster at this point.
The other thing with the option offense, though, is like I said before, there's someone assigned to the quarterback, there's someone assigned to the pitch. So those guys can't even be involved in that play. So you're only working against 3 guys on that line on that side of the line.
And a muff snap on the extra point. Nelly's back to go get it, turns and throws. He is the quarterback, and he's got Figueroa in the corner of the end zone. On a busted play, there you see the cool, calm Nelly, the quarterback, throwing to his running back. 2 points, Falcons.
That was a great play, but you can't do that unless you work on it. So I'm sure they've worked on that many times during practice.
And no panic by Nelly off the busted play.
Or the rest of the team.
Yep.
Nobody went downfield. The end knew exactly where to go in the end zone. It's definitely a well-coached situation.
15-6 with 1:40 left to go in the first half, and a very well-played first half, and a very fast-moving, crisp first half. Sees the Falcons on top here, and you know what? And 2 scoring drives were both big plays by the fullback.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not going to call him a tailback. I'm not going to call him a fullback, Coach. I mean, you don't like that term fullback, do you?
I told you before, we always played a tailback at fullback.
Okay.
Our fullback at Montville was Doug DuBose.
Not too bad, is he, Coach? Yeah.
I don't think you'd call him a plotter.
No, I wouldn't know. I mean, Mike DeMauro was behind us, and, Mike says, Doug only went to Nebraska and, ran for 1,000 yards his junior year out there. So, I mean, on the cover of Sports Illustrated, 49 Super Bowl ring. I mean,
he was our fullback. So
he's your fullback.
It depends on what offense you run. In this offense, it's like a wing T offense like ours was. It's not the same thing, but you have the same type of player at fullback.
Well, there he is, Mr. Do Everything. Tyler Nelly just threw the muffed extra point for a 2-point conversion. He's kicking off. A deep kick that time, taken by the up man, taken by Velez. He turns upfield. He goes to the left. He's outside the numbers. Good. He's got a little bit of speed, and he gets across the 30-yard line. Montville was set up shop right there. So a little bit of speed on Marcus Velez.
Yeah,
nice return in the kicking game that time from Montville.
I think Montville's got some good skill kids when they get out into the open field. From the line of scrimmage, they're having a hard time getting going because Fitch has condensed everything. They're not letting them run inside at all, and they can't run outside because of Fitch's speed.
Well, with a minute and a half left to go in the ball game, I'm sure that's what Tanner Grover talked about, is how do we get the ball to some of these playmakers? Velez is a track guy. Davis can make some plays. We saw it already in the first half with a touchdown. How do we get our playmakers the football? 1st and 10, Montville, from their own 34-yard line. Luke Hall looks over the formation. He'll go under center. Power eye. Twin receivers at the bottom of the set. Davis in the slot. Velez on the outside. Hall under center.
Fitch is back in cover 2, so they're more concerned with pass now.
Outside handoff goes to Angel. Angel is stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and it's been very, very hard outside of the first initial drive from Montville for Nick Angel to find any kind of room up front.
Yeah, even when Fitch was in cover 2, which means 4 defensive backs are not in the box. 2 of them are 12 yards deep. The other 2 are outside the receivers. And even with that, even with 7 guys in the box, not that 8th guy, Fitch, Montville still couldn't get much room inside.
We are under a minute to go here in the first half from Fitch High School. Keith O'Brien, the coach, Mike Emery in the booth, doing his very best to keep me on my toes. 2nd down and 10, Montville. Hall under center. Fakes the inside, I'd say handoff. Rolls was right, and he's sacked. And the ball's on the turf. Picked up, scooped up, and ran for a touchdown by number 22, Lonnie Howard. What a big play that time by the Fitch defense. I'm sorry, Hollis Scott picked it up and ran it in for a touchdown.
Is that his 3rd touchdown now?
3rd touchdown of the game by Hollis Scott. He's done it all for the Falcons.
Yeah, it was a great play by the person that hit him in the back. I'm not sure who that was. The defensive end maybe that hit they were running a counter boot and they didn't have backside protection.
What a big-time play here by Hollis Scott on the scoop and run for 6 points for the Falcons. They lead 21-6 with just under 37 seconds left to go in the half. Kick is up by Nelly, and the extra point is good.
The toughest thing now for both coaches is going to be, because high school kids sometimes they put their head down too easily, So Tanner and his group are going to have to really work to. Look, you can see the body language right there. He's going to have to work at halftime to bring his kids in. They're not out of it. It's what is it, a 14 point?
22-6, a
16 point
game.
So 2 touchdowns. You're still within 2 scores. And Mike Ellis is going to have to make sure his guys don't get too big ahead because it is only 2 scores.
Well, you talked about this, the speed at the linebacking core. You talked about Lonnie Howard. We talked about, there you saw Hollis, Scott, and coach, speed kills. You can't coach speed.
That's such a luxury to have. You saw how fast Hollis Scott is when he carried the ball at a fullback. To have him playing linebacker and not defensive back is a huge, huge luxury. You want to put that speed all over the field. And when we were coaching here, we tried to put our best 11 guys on defense. And then they also played offense, but we rotated through, So we had, instead of having 3 running backs, we had 6, So they all played defense, but we rotated them through on offense. So people got excited about our offense, but it was really our defense that set the table for them.
And setting the table indeed right here for the Fitch Falcons heading into the locker room.
Yeah, you see that a lot tonight where the short field, the defense gave them a short field.
Yep, and the down and distance not very favorable for Montville, 3rd down and 10 passing situation. And Fitch comes up. And an onside kick here by Nelly. Fitch is down there. Yeah. Ball's on the outside, and it's recovered by Montville.
That's supposed to be blown dead. That should have been blown dead. That's the new rule. When the ball hits the ground, if it goes up in the air, it's a safety factor, that as soon as a kid goes like this, they're supposed to blow it dead.
Yeah, but isn't that the whole scenario behind the onside
kick?
Yeah,
that's why onside kicks are not going to be. There's not going to be anything to them anymore in high school because of that rule.
So onside kick now in high school have to be squib kicks?
Well, you got to try to keep it down. If it bounces up in the air and the kid looks up, the referees are supposed to blow the whistle right then. That's it.
Is the player deemed defenseless?
Yes, that's why. They don't want to have anyone hurt. But that should have been blown dead right there.
All right, it looks like they're going to attempt to kick again. Offside against Fitch on the play. So it's all for naught.
Yeah, in that situation, they
had an interesting move going for an onside kick up 22-6 with 30 seconds left to go.
Well, they probably figured they could give it to Hollis one more time.
Why not?
That's what I would do.
Call his number, coach, number 22.
Right.
All right, here we go. Ball rolls off the tee. It's a bit blustery out there tonight. Tyler Nelly looks over the situation. He's kicking. 33 seconds left to go before a half. Fitch up 22-6. Nelly this time. Another little pooch kick.
Same thing.
And it's taken by an up band. It's bobbled, and Fitch is recovered. It looks from here that Fitch has got the ball. There's a bit of a scrum going on. No signal yet. Still no signal. A little confusion down there. And I believe it is recovered by Montville. Listen, I don't know who recovered the ball, and I don't think the referees do either. We're still waiting for an official signal down here.
You see how talented Nelly is, though, because that's not an easy thing to do.
And now there's a flag. And another offsides penalty, it looks like, against Fitch. Okay, so it's an onside kick recovered by Fitch, it looks like. Referees talked about it. And another offsides in the Falcons.
It's possible that it's what I was talking about before. The ball bounced over the head, and well, I don't know if that's a flag, though. It's not supposed to be a flag. It's supposed to be just blown.
That's a flag. That's a flag the referee put in his pocket. And
so they are calling offside.
Fitch is going back to kick again.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, a lot of non-action in about 6 seconds here at Fitch High School in the last 30 seconds before the half. Fitch up 22-6. Couple of botched onside kick attempts by the Falcons.
Yeah.
Officials, broadcasters, coaches, and players trying to sort things out a little bit, Coach.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We have 28 seconds left to go before a half. Fitch leads 22-6. Well, they're going to mark off the penalties, and it looks like Montville's going to get the football. Back-to-back onside kick attempts. It did not succeed, and it looks like Fitch will retain. Montville will retain possession from the 45-yard line. I could be wrong. I'm trying to sort this out on the fly. I think the officials are trying to sort things out on the fly, too.
Yeah, maybe at halftime. we can figure out what happened.
Well, we're going to push the ball back
Okay.
again, and it looks like there's going to be another kick.
Okay.
That looks like they're going to line things up. I wish the referees were mic'd up, Coach. What do you think about that? So you could hear it up here in the booth. Well, here you go.
That would be interesting, yeah.
All right, back-to-back illegal procedure penalties on onside kick attempted by Nelly. Fitch will be kicking from their own 30-yard line now with 28 seconds left to go before the half. We had a very, very fast-moving first half of football.
We did.
Until the last 33 seconds. Coach, that's high school football.
That's right. We still made good time.
The wind is blowing out there. It is certainly fall here in southeastern Connecticut. And you were listening to Game Day on theday.com and Game Day website on Facebook. Keith O'Brien filling in for Casey O'Neill. We'll talk a little bit about where he's at halftime. He's out in Nashville performing with Steve Elsey and friends. He's had a special opportunity out there. He'll be performing with the likes of Justin Timberlake and Eddie Vedder, Coach. I'm sure you know who those guys are, right?
Yeah.
That's a big deal for Casey. I hope he's in the moment and enjoys
that's
every
great.
single minute of it. Loves his music. He loves to perform, and
Good for him.
it's in his blood. It's what he loves to do. Something like that has a chance of a lifetime to do. All right, here we go. Nelly getting ready to kick off again. A third attempt at this kickoff after a Hollis Scott scoop and score. And this time Nelly just decides to kick it away. Thank you, Tyler. Ball picked up by Davis. I'm sorry, it's picked up by the up man, Velez, and he gets a little bit of room and gets out to almost midfield. Velez that time scoops it up and runs out just out past the 46-yard line. 17 seconds left to go in the half. And thank you for kicking the ball off, Tyler Nelly. A lot going on there with very, very little action.
Yeah, this will be it'll be interesting, actually. I think he'll probably take a knee, try to regroup, but we'll see.
Oh, here we go. Montville 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line, and they come up with
He's in the gun.
Trip receivers. Luke Hall in the shotgun. Well, inside handoff to Angel. He's got a little bit of room. He gets into the second level, puts his head down, gets about 14 or 15 yards, and that will more than likely take us to the end of the first half. Nope, Tanner Grover's going to call timeout. So maybe what you see that time, Coach, is let's try and get 10 or 12 yards up and try and set ourselves up from, say, the 40-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, now he's in a position where he could throw a fade and maybe make something happen. That was good strategy, I would say.
Timeout by Tanner Grove as we have 12 and a half seconds as Montville trails 22-6. This is their coach. This being Montville's third straight road game, is that kind of wearing them, or it doesn't really matter on a high school level?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
No, you're talking to Mike tomorrow.
Talk to Mike.
Yes, Mike. Pick six. Pick six.
That's the danger.
Danger
that's
zone.
the danger.
Well, I mean, Coach has already talked about 2 out of 3 things can happen when you throw the ball, and then 2 of them are bad.
Well,
3 things happen.
Back in the 80s when we used to play New London, we used to say that their best offensive play was the intercepted pass.
Sure.
So that could be the same situation here. Fitch is so fast.
Here we go. Shotgun formation. Fitch from the Montville from the Fitch 42. Handoff again goes to Angel. Puts his head down. Gains 3 yards. And, Coach, that will be the last play of the first half. Clock winds down. And, yes, that will be the end of the first half. And a very fast-moving 24 minutes of football. The last 30 seconds or so got real slow. But first half, 22-6. Fitch will kick off. Montville will back to receive. Gennaro Davis, number 7, and number 19, Marcus Velez. Fitch kicking, going left to right on your radio dial if you're listening and get a little picture of that. The rain is held off. There's a bit of a mist out there, but just enough to drive Mike DeMauro off the sidelines into the booth. He does not sit out there for the rain. Tyler Nelly set to kick off. Fitch leads 22-6. And another squib kick taken by one of the up men and then circled around, and that's it.
I think
Fitch is not going to kick the ball deep.
No, I think Mike Ellis is telling you right there he's not going to get beat. But the Montville kids in the open field are pretty good, and they can contain him from the line of scrimmage. But he doesn't want to kick it to any of them deep.
Well, he's not afraid to give Montville good field position, though, starting at their own 37. That's the risk, the reward.
That's the risk and reward. But honestly, they haven't done anything since the first drive, so there's not really that much risk at this point.
Oh, here we go. Luke Hall from the shotgun. Hall first and 10 from the 37-yard line. Looks right, throws. Looking for his man Davis down the right side. Pass is incomplete. And it looks like Montville is going to make an effort to try and open things up and loosen up that Fitch defense here in the first possession.
Yeah, we who knows what the adjustments were made at halftime. That might be one of them. But Fitch that was well covered. You had one guy right on him, and the other guy was close.
Well, Fitch has the athletes coach to in Ferris and some of the other guys at corner to guard one-on-one.
Oh yeah, they do, and then they had the extra guy, the safety there too.
Second down and 10, Montville from the 37-yard line. Hall out of the shotgun. Inside handoff, it goes to Angel. Nick Angel sticks his head down and gets a tough yard. Let's call it 3rd down and 9, Montville from their own 40-yard line.
Fitch's defensive line has really taken control of this game, really. When Montville has the ball, they haven't allowed anything on the ground since that first drive, really.
Coach, do you have big guys on the line at Fitch or speedy guys?
No, speedy.
Speedy guys on the line.
Yeah. Sometimes we had big.
Big speed. How about big speedy guys like the NFL?
That would be
ideal. 3rd down and 8. Hall out of the shotgun. Looks right. He is dropped and sacked by number 13, Zach Letellier. And there you see the speed of Zach Letellier, who plays both sides, offense and defense, sacking Luke Hall in the backfield for a big loss, bringing up 4th down.
Montville tried to run a flood pass that time, one guy deep and then 2 guys out. But the 2 guys are out were too close to each other, so one person could cover both of them. Plus, if you're going to run that, your quarterback would be better if he was rolling out, because it's a long ways for a high school quarterback to make that throw.
And again, the two-way player, Zach Letellier, plays wide receiver. He plays a defensive end spot, linebacker spot. Punt is up. Low lining punt. Justice Ferris back deep for Fitch. Gets out of the way. Justice Ferris, a little shaky back there returning punts as we saw in the first half. That time just wanted no part of that one, Coach.
I don't know if anyone's fielded a punt yet, which is common in high school. They don't really. It's a risky play. And
punts and kickoffs a bit of a challenge thus far for the Falcons, the special teams department. But they lead 22-6 with 10:25 just underway here in the second half. You listen to Game Day. Keith O'Brien stepping in, filling the big shoes of Casey O'Neill. The coach, Mike Emery. Coach has forgotten more about football than I'll ever know. Here comes Fitch, 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line. Option look, Hollis Scott, the fullback. Nelly under center. Again, inside handoff goes to Scott. He bounces it outside. 40, 50, down the sidelines, and taken down at the 35-yard line. Hollis Scott finding his way into the second level. Huge run by the Fitch fullback / tailback coach.
Yeah, it's nothing different. It's the same thing they've been doing. It's a veer option play. And, people have their assignments, quarterback, and they might have to start taking somebody off pitch to get an extra guy on the fullback. Just take their chances. Try to get Fitch to go all the way to the pitch.
Yeah, let Nelly beat them instead of Hollis Scott. And Nelly under center, 1st and 10 from the 33 of Montville. Stevens in motion, flag out, and it looks like we're going to have a false start. Looks like Amir Stevens maybe jumped a little too soon. 45-yard run that time by Hollis Scott. And who needs the passing game, Coach, when you got a big play player in number 22?
I think, as I said earlier, people want to see success. They don't necessarily want to see passing. They want to see success, whether it's running or passing. And what happens is, at some point here, if it's like the old usual wishbone teams like Barry Switzer had in the 70s, somebody will be wide open, and they'll throw a play-action pass.
Keith Jackson, or Nelly.
Right.
All right, here we go. Tyler Nelly under center. 1st and 15 now for the Falcons from their Montville 37. Counter option. Down the line again. It goes to Scott. Nothing doing that time. Nice tackle on the outside. Gennaro Davis, number 7. You hear him on the offense. Defensive end had a hand in that stop.
Now, the play call there was probably just to slow down Montville a little bit, but Montville's not doing anything that I can see anyway that would indicate that they're rolling hard to the motion, that they would come back and run counter option. I think it was probably just, make sure that they know we have this play type.
Yeah, 2nd down and 12. Fitch from the Montville 34-yard line. Nelly under center. Option look again. Trap play that time. Inside goes to Scott. Sticks his head down and churns up for about 6 yards. That time you saw the power of Hollis Scott. Tough inside run.
Yeah, he's not a very big kid, but he's got big, powerful legs, and hard to tackle.
We'll bring up third down here for the Fitch Falcons as we are about 8 minutes out here in a very fast-moving quarter, just like the first half went.
Yeah.
Third and let's call it 7 here, and you got to think 2-down territory for the Falcons as Tyler Nelly brings his team to the line. Again, spread formation this time. Scott in the backfield, lone set. Stevens in motion. Inside handoff goes to Scott, bounces outside, and a nice tackle that time on the outside by Gennaro Davis, saving a big gain from Fitch. Gennaro Davis showing you the speed and the tackling ability on the defensive end.
Yeah, Fitch went unbalanced, both ends on the same side, and then came back and ran the other way.
Fourth down, yep. Fourth down upcoming here for the Falcons coach, and they will apparently go for it.
Probably too long for he's got a great leg, but I don't know if this might be a little bit out of his range.
They will go. 4th down and 4. Let's call it from the Montville 26-yard line. Nelly under center. Hollis Scott behind him in the formation. Stevens comes across. Nelly down the line that time on a keeper. He's into the second level. He's past the 10, and he dances into the end zone. That time, the option, Tyler Nelly kept it himself. Junior quarterback starting to feel it out there right now for the Falcons.
Same formation. They put 2 people away to the field. They must have saw something in terms of the way Montville was defending it, rolling too many people up to the unbalanced, and they came back away from it. And like you said earlier, Keith, the quarterback starts to get a feel of how they're playing it. And when he's good enough, like this guy is, it's just a matter of it happening.
He's getting it, Coach. He's starting to mature out there.
Yeah.
Like you said, he went through some growing pains last year, and he's in to try the extra point, and it looks like there's a flag down and a bit of a botched snap. The officials are a little confused, just like me. Okay, looks like it's going to be a do-over, Coach.
I hope it's not the 25 minutes like it was right before the half.
No, that was Antonio Figueroa is the holder. Tyler Nelly is the kicker. Snap is a high snap, and it is blocked. So the extra point has been a bit of a challenge tonight for the Falcons. They scored 4 touchdowns. 2 of them have been successful. The other one turned into a 2-point conversion, and one of them has been blocked. All kinds of sneaky business on the extra point for the Falcons. But they lead right now, Coach, 28-6 with 7:28 left to go in the third quarter.
Gives them something to work on next week.
There you go. I mean, and you know they're going to work on it too, right, Coach?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they will. Probably work on it every day, I'll bet. They'll probably go, usually in a situation like that, you might tell your extra point team, when I blow the whistle, I want you there, and we're going to practice it 5 minutes a day every day, but it might be at any time.
So when you guys are blowing teams out, you have to find things. I mean, in your situation, you had one of the best teams in the state. Yeah, when you're blowing teams out, you got to find things to go to film work on Monday morning.
We had one year where we actually had to punt on 2nd down, I think it was, and we talked about it in the field house, and we said we have to punt this week. It was like week 6 or week 7.
You never punted the ball?
We hadn't punted yet, but we practiced it all the time.
Yeah, right.
So we were playing somebody or other, and we ended up just punting on 2nd. We were already ahead by 40 points or something. So
okay, there you go.
Before we subbed for those guys, because at halftime we always sub for them. So sometime in the first half, we said we got to punt at some point.
That's how you keep your team grounded, Coach. That's how you keep things real. Keep your feet on the ground. 28-6 here at Fitch High School. Game getting away from the Montville Indians a little bit. They have certainly stepped up their level of competition against the Fitch Falcons. Fitch looks very good right now, in control of this ball game. Montville will have to find a way to try and kickstart that offense. Tyler Nelly.
Montville's got that body language now, too, which is
it's tough.
Hard not to at this point.
That's tough. Tyler Nelly kicking off, and another squib kick, taking by the up men from Montville. He covers the ball at the 27-yard line. So, again, Coach, I think you're right about the fact that Fitch does not want Davis in with the ball in open space.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to.
So
another smart move by Coach Ellis, I think, really.
7:22, 28-6 here. Fitch Falcons in control of this ball game. 1st and 10, Montville from their own, let's call it the 27-yard line. Let's call it the 28-yard line. I have not put on my glasses yet, Coach. You impressed? Doing pretty well up here in the booth. Luke Hall, quarterback, shotgun formation. Inside handoff goes to Angel, and he's stopped for no gain by that guy. Yes, Hollis Scott, doing it on offense and on defense.
I know you hand wrote it, but the handwriting there is what is that, about 24 font or something?
Yeah, it's pretty
Looks
big
like
right there, yeah. Oh, you're picking on me here. Aren't you? Let me. I gotta put my reading.
No,
glasses
I'm
on
the
for
same
that.
way. I'm
No, I
glad
got
you wrote it like that.
Having a good time here with Coach Mike, and you're a math guy too. You're not an English teacher or anything.
No,
like that.
math.
You're math.
Yeah, math. Yeah.
You're good with numbers.
Well,
All right. Well, second down and 12 for the Montville Indians. Luke Hall, shotgun formation, takes the snap, looks right, fires, got his man in the flat. Number 23, Greg Clark, turns upfield, and a good gain. A nice pitch and catch that time from Hall to Clark. Good
Late
for
hit.
17 yards at first down, and a flag on the far side may tack on 15. It could be a late hit against the Fitch Falcons.
yeah, you got this kind of a lead. That's what you don't want to do now is to get into those kind of situations where you're giving them yardage. You're putting them back. So the late hit's now going to put them into Fitch territory. That really was the only thing they've done successfully, and now Fitch has helped them.
It is a personal foul. It is a late hit on the far side. You give Montville 15 yards. That will push the football all the way on the other side of the field. Will be 1st and 10. Montville from Fitch's 43-yard line. Coach, 28-yard play, 13 yards on the pitch and catch, 15 yards on the penalty. Montville's in business. Hall out of the shotgun, takes the snap. Inside handoff goes again to Angel. Breaks through the line of scrimmage, and he is met for probably a gain of about a yard. Right now, the Falcons flying to the football.
Yeah, I like the way he runs. He's got a nice forward lean and lowers his shoulder, but there's not really much there at this
Yeah, you
point.
like that? I mean, that's a lot of people don't remember who Eric Dickerson was, and I unfortunately do because I am that old. But, I mean, he had a Hall of Fame. He was a great running back coach.
Yeah, there must be a 30 for 30 on him or something someplace. And
Somewhere.
so if you get a chance to watch it, you'll see this kid right here. It's the same kind of running style.
2nd down and 9 from the 42-yard line of the Falcons. Hall out of the shotgun, takes the snap, looks right, and just kind of throws it away. A little miscommunication. I think he was looking for Greg Clark in the flat. He was covered, went downfield, and just basically had to throw that one away. Nothing there that time. We'll bring up 3rd down and 9 from the Fitch 42-yard line.
I would say at this stage of the game, they'll go for it anyway, even if they don't.
This is 2-down territory right here.
I think so. I mean, it's 22 points.
Down 3 scores, just under 6 minutes left to
You're
go.
in their
after this.
territory. I
Yep.
don't know.
All right, well, here we go. Luke Hall brings his team to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 9 from the Fitch's 42. Shotgun formation, single back set, and Angel. He gets the inside handoff. He ducks the first tackler, sticks his head down, and picks up a safe 4 yards, Coach, and this could bring up your down and distance, 4th down and say 5.
Yeah, you can make an argument either way. You could punt it down into, inside the 10 and then hope that Fitch makes a mistake with the option. That's possible too. But it looks like they're going to go.
5:25 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Fitch up 28-6, 4th down and 6 from the 39. Montville will go for it. Hall out of the shotgun, rolls to his right, looking for Davis, throws,
got him.
and a nice pitch and catch that time on 4th down. He eyed Davis the entire way. Davis made himself available. 4th down conversion and a big one for the Indians.
And Coach Grove had him roll that time, so it's an easier throw. Unless you have a high school kid that has a really strong arm, if you're going to throw that out pattern, you're better off having him roll.
Run away from the pressure. They've had some heat coming on the outside from Letelier.
Yeah.
Zach Letelier. I'm sorry. There you go. In reference to Casey.
Yeah.
Well, nice first down here, and it keeps the drive alive from Montville. It's 1st and 10 from Fitch's 30-yard line. They are moving right to left. Hall in the shotgun. Davis is playmaker down at the bottom of the formation. Hall keeps it himself, turns his head up, gets probably 3 yards, if not 2, and a flag on the play as well.
It kind of shows you how the game is going. Montville that time had 2 receivers wide, and Fitch covered them with 3 guys. So Fitch is outnumbered inside, and they still couldn't gain any yards against them.
In the defensive line, we trust.
Oh, yeah.
So that is telling you that Mike Ellis is taking away their best player. We're going to take away Davis, and Marcus Velez on the outside with 3 of our defenders, and we'll challenge you to run the ball at the gun.
We're not going to give you the ball in the open field.
It was offsides on Fitch, so we'll bring up 1st down and officials have not confirmed. We had 1st down. The 1st down in
Looks like
4. Yeah, 1st down and 4.
Kind of strange.
Yeah, from Montville. 1st down and 4 from the 24 of Fitch. Hall under center. Handoff goes. Angel on the outside, off the left side. Got some room. Dances up. Stiff arms a man. Nick Angel, his best run of the second half, give him 15 yards on the play. First down, Montville.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There was open space there. It looked like the Montville left side got a pretty good push. I don't know why it was different that play. I didn't really catch it.
Looks like it's going to bring up first and goal from the 10-yard line. Still waiting for the sticks to be moved, and that's what it's going to be. First and goal, Montville from the Fitch 10-yard line. A nice drive here put together by the Indians as we approach 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Hall under center. Inside handoff. That time, play is blown up. And big number 55, Dasani Vanette, is run to the outside. And that time, Mike, the Fitch defensive line was ready for the fullback.
Yeah, you got to tell the fullback to just keep going straight. You can't go. If you're wearing 55, don't bounce it to the outside. You know, keep it inside. It looks like he's got a cramp, maybe, or.
Yeah, he is cramped up. He actually lost 7 yards on that play, so that will bring up second and goal from the 17. I would tend to think his forward progress was stopped sooner than that, but It looks like he's being marked down out of bounds. There you go, second down and goal from the 17, and it kind of makes it a little more challenging for Coach Tanner Grove and this offense to get 6 points. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to go here in the third quarter, 28-6. Fitch leading over the Montville Indians.
Got to get Davis involved again somehow. Either a fade or an out pattern to him, roll the quarterback.
Let's look for number 7. He's at the top of the formation. Power eye set. Hall under center.
Counter boot, I'll bet.
Takes the snap, looks right, looks to Davis, fires to the end zone, and the ball is knocked away by Justice Ferris. And there you see Justice Ferris again making a big-time play. Caught on an island with Montville's best player, but no problem for the senior D-back.
Yeah, I mean, Davis went up for it, too, but the corner was there.
Ball could have been a tad underthrown, too, Coach, too. Throw the ball deep and let your receiver go get it.
You got to put it where either he gets it or nobody gets it.
Got a player down in the field, and it looks like Davis is over in the corner. It looks like he's cramping, stretching him out a little bit.
That kind of a night.
Yeah. Game day brought to you by Family First Life. Family First is a teamwork environment, hiring many current and former athletes because they understand competitiveness and teamwork. If you're looking for part-time or full-time work, apply online at familyfirstlife.com. Are you a current or former athlete looking to make over $100,000 a year? Well, if the answer is yes, contact Family First Life at 860-317-1324. Family First Life can meet all your insurance needs. Contact them for a free quote at 860-317-1324. Coach, with 3 minutes and 38 seconds left to go in the third quarter, down 28-6, how important is it not only for this ball game, but for Montville's psyche to get 6 points out of this drive?
I mean, they've got to get something here, but they put themselves in a hole. I think a good play right now might be a screen pass, believe it or not. I mean, because Fitch is going to put pressure on them for sure, and they're going to drop off with their secondary to cover. There'll probably be some open space in between if they have some kind of a screen in their repertoire. I would run it now.
Well, they're going to have to do it without their best playmaker, Gennaro Davis, as he was helped off the field. Could have been a little more than a cramp. We'll get an injury report on him in a few minutes. And that's a big loss for the Montville Indians. We'll keep an eye on that as the ball game progresses. Third down and 17. Montville from the Fitch 17. Third and goal from the 17. Hall under center. Angel takes the handoff, goes off the right side, sheds a tackle, and then he's brought down abruptly. That time, Antonio Figueroa would have to stop for the Falcons.
I don't know if it was designed or not. It started off as an inside play, and then he bounced it to the outside. Could have been designed that way to make it look like it was an inside play and then have him take it off outside.
Play is good for no gain. Coach will bring up fourth down and 17 as we approach 3 minutes left to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah. You got to throw some kind of a fade here. I still think a screen would be a good play, though. It's as good as any.
Coach will look for the screen. He's looking for Mike Jones out. Coach, they don't have the horses out there. Here we go. Fourth and goal from the 17. Hall under center. He's got Marcus Velez at the bottom part of his formation. He looks his way. He rolls his way. He looks up. He's got his big wide receiver out there.
Interference, yeah.
And it's the play you wanted. You wanted your playmaker on the outside and a flag thrown That will be an interference play on number 20 from Fitch, Salvatore Aiello.
Now in the pros, that would go down to the 1 yard line. It was in the end zone, wasn't it?
It was in the end zone. Yes, it was. Corner of the end zone, Coach. Good call.
And so now that's what, half the distance now or something, or so.
It'd be about the 8-yard line. Yes, it would.
So they still got a big play. It's 4th and 8. Either way, I think he would have made that catch without the interference. That could have been a good. Sometimes there's a good interference, you know, and it looked like he would have made that catch if the kid hadn't interfered with him, the corner.
Last couple pass plays by Montville, successful with Luke Hall on the move. Get him out of the pocket, have him make a play, and that's, it almost worked that time, Coach.
I just saw one of my 6th graders down there. His father is Albert Perry, Bo Perry, and his cousins are Rashad and Raheem Carter.
All right, I see 4th down and 8 on the sideline marker.
Good stop.
Sideline marker says 4th and 8. The scoreboard says 1st and 8. I'm going to go 4th and 8. 4th and goal, Montville. Hall under center. Looks right, is hit, breaks the pocket, and overthrows his man. He had Marcus Velez open for a second, Coach. Couldn't get the ball to him, and it looks like Fitch will take over on downs.
Yeah, they ran the exact same play. They pumped the slant and then threw the corner, and Fitch played it better that time. He didn't let the wide receiver get leverage on him. He stayed outside of him.
Well, the initial play on 1st and goal from the 10-yard line, the loss of 7 yards really hurt them.
It was a good interference.
Yeah, good interference, Coach. You called it.
Yeah, it was a good
smart play.
Yeah.
Fitch will take over. 1st down and 10 from their own 6-yard line. 2:34 here to go here in the 3rd quarter. Keith O'Brien, the coach Mike Emery, 28-6. The Fitch Falcons lead the Montville Indians.
Fitch needs one of those Navy Georgia Tech drives that eats up clock.
Yeah, a little 12 play, 7.5 minute drives. And Nelly under center. Scott behind him. Flag and a whistle. So the Fitch offense is not firing on that play, and it looks like it's going to be a false start. And I'm wrong again. And it's offsides against the Montville defense. Will give Fitch 5 yards, Coach.
They used to say that with us sometimes. You know, what we really need, this is fans talking, is one of those 12-play eat clock drives. And we would say, well, what's wrong with an 80-yard run? Can we do it that way?
1st and 5, Falcons from their own 15-yard line. Nelly under center. Stevens comes across. Nelly down the line, gives the ball to Scott. He breaks it to the outside, and he's brought down by a host of Indians. And Fitch continues to chip and chip and chip with Hollis Scott.
Yeah.
No reason to do anything unsafe right now if you're the Fitch Falcons on the offensive end.
And the thing is, any option offense, they have plays that are definite gives, or definite keeps. And they're probably at that phase of the game right now where they don't want to read it because they don't want to put the ball on the ground.
Under 2 minutes now here in the 3rd quarter, 28-6 Fitch. It'll be 2nd down and 4 from the 11-yard line.
Yeah.
Here comes the pitch to Stevens on the outside. Hamir Stevens is wrapped up and dropped, and a flag on the play, and it looks like it could be a face mask on Montville.
That would be too bad. They had that play.
Hamir Stevens has got some speed, but the few times he's touched the ball, he's been corralled pretty well on the outside. The problem with Montville is their defense up the middle.
The flexbone teams, when they move their wide receivers in tight like that, it's a very high incidence of that rocket play, that pitch play to the outside, because the receivers are in position to crack down on the inside from where they are. So Montville might have scouted that. They might have seen, hey, split ends are inside, watch the rocket, that kind of thing.
Looks like a garden variety face mask, Coach, and it'll be 5 yards. We'll get on the loss, then the inadvertent penalty will set up 2nd down and say 7.
The receivers are wider. Tight on one side. They're unbalanced this time.
Nelly under center. Inside handoff goes to Scott, gets into the 2nd level, sticks his head down, and it looks like he's got enough for the 1st down as he gets across the 20-yard line. Hollis Scott's been called to get the big plays and the tough yards on the inside, and he's done just fine for Coach Mike Ellis so far in this ballgame.
Yeah, he's really impressive. He's an impressive back.
Clock winding now, just about a minute left to go here. Hollis Scott's a senior.
Fitch is going to take their time, that's for sure.
Run this thing right down. It is 1st and 10. Fitch from the 20-yard line. We are under a minute left to go in the third quarter. Nelly under center. Nelly hands off to Scott. Scott is stacked at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time. Good stand by the Montville defensive front.
Stopped at the line of scrimmage by number 61. Might have to adjust the blocking. That's a common thing with that trap play, or the dive play too, with the fullback dive. You just change the blocking a little bit. A lot of people say, they're running the same play again,
right.
But it's not. The blocking changes a little bit.
61 Cody Jones and 72 Tyrone Mack, sophomores and juniors from Montville, anchoring that defensive line. And again, Coach Tanner Grove spoke very highly of Tyrone Mack, and Fitch in no hurry to snap the ball. Nelly brings his team up to the line. 10 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Under center, Nelly takes it himself, keeps it down the line, and he stopped for very, very little gain, and that winds things down to the end of the third quarter, where the Fitch Falcons lead 28-6 over the Montville Indians in a very, very fast-moving third quarter. I see a little wind out there. I see a little rain out there. I see Mike Demaro in the booth. You're listening to Game Day. Keith O'Brien, the sports doctor, filling in for Casey O'Neill. Mike Emery, the coach, up here putting in his expertise. And, Coach, sum up the first three quarters, what you've seen, let's just say from the Fitch side.
Well, on defense, their defensive line and linebackers have dominated the game.
Okay.
And they've helped them by, early in the game, rolling an extra defender up there, but then now later in the game they've been able to do it with seven in the box. So they've dominated it physically up front. On offense, they're just executing their offense, and you have
execution.
Execution, and then a back that can break it. You have a kid like Hollis Scott, get him in the secondary, and you don't have to have those long drives. He breaks out in the clear. And high school drives, it's usually the percentages are, if you make a high school drive all the way from the 20 to the other goal line, they're usually going to make a mistake in there, if it's not a short field, unless you have a kid like Hollis Scott, and he does half of it all by himself. Yeah,
is there any reason right now for Fitch to not force feed Hollis Scott the ball or let Tyler Nelly keep it? I mean, from this point of the game, 28-6, they're ahead. There's only 12 minutes left to go in the ball game. Do we play it safe if we're Coach Mike Ellis from here on out?
I don't know. There's a series in the option offense called midline where you don't have to pitch it, and the fullback just dives straight over the middle, and the quarterback can either keep or give it to him.
Yep.
They could run that, and the quarterback just keep it and run off tackle.
3rd and 8. Fitch takes over. Nelly under center. Nelly rolls to his right, and the ball's picked off. The ball is picked off by number 5, Nick Angel, in the flat. Dangerous, dangerous play, Coach. We just talked about keeping the ball on the ground, and that time Nelly made a poor decision on 3rd down.
Yeah, he didn't really. They probably don't. The problem with this is a team like that is the same thing we had. Even if you practice the passing game a lot, you don't get to run it in games very much, and that's where you make your improvement in games. So what happens is, as the year goes on, you kind of get worse and worse at the passing game because you don't get to run it in games very often.
Well, Montville's in business. 1st and 10 from the Fitch 26-yard line. They go with trips. Looks like there's going to be a flag or a timeout. Montville. Too many men on the field. 12 guys, and 12 guys actually broke the huddle on that play. So I'm surprised they weren't flagged. But Montville, Tanner Grove will call timeout and talk things over. And we'll talk about Game Day being brought to you by Family First Life. Family First Life is a team environment, hiring many current and former athletes because they understand competitiveness and teamwork. If you're looking for part-time and or full-time work, apply online at familyfirstlife.com. If you're a current or former athlete looking to earn over $100,000 a year, if the answer is yes, Coach, contact Family First Life at 860-317-1324. Family First Life can meet all your insurance needs.
Does former athletes, does that count 40 years ago? Is that all right?
I mean, you one of those guys, Coach?
Yeah,
I mean, you're retired now, Coach. You're retired. How many years in the school system?
I retired, but then I went back, because math is a shortage area, and so I'm back teaching now. And
that means you're not on the golf course, though.
No, I'm not on the golf course. No.
Jeez.
Tomorrow I will be, though.
We're going to fix that. 1st and 10, Montville from the 26-yard line of Fitch. Hall under center, hands off to Angel, takes it out to the left, puts his head down, and gets 3 let's call it 3 yards the hard way off that left side. We'll bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Indians. We are just underway in the 4th quarter. Montville trails 28-6, but on the move, trying to cash in and get 6 points.
Montville is, whatever success they have on the ground has come on the left side. Their kids are getting a little bit of a push there. Fitch's left side has dominated the whole game.
A little bit of wind, a little bit of rain out there now as we wind things down in the 4th quarter. Power eye set. Hall gives off to Angel again. Left side, finds some room, sticks his head down, and gets 5 yards. There you go, Coach. That left side proving to be successful for the Indians.
Yeah, I like, he's a tall kid and he leans forward, so he gets a couple extra yards even after they've hit him.
We'll bring up 3rd down. 3rd and let's call it, your guess is as good as mine, Mike. We'll call it a long 3, a short 4. And looks like we're going to have you're going to call it 4. Looks like we're going to have a timeout.
4 down territory for sure, so.
Referees pointing back like we have an injured player, and we do. Number 44 for Fitch, limping off to Pedro Mojica, one of the big inside linebackers for Mike Ellis, and that looks like a cramp. Grabbing down the back of his hamstring area, and that looks like a cramp.
They got to drink all that water that Tom Brady is touting now. Hydrate themselves.
Yep. Time in the Patriots, huh? Big game tomorrow. Against Houston. On Sunday. Against the Texans.
Yeah, that is a big game. You're right.
Huge game. First home game back since they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. So.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 3rd down, and let's call it 4. Hall under center. Looks out to his right. He's got Davis in the pattern. Bit of a wobbler. Davis goes up for it. Justice Ferris up for it. And Justice Ferris will pick off his 2nd pass of the ball game. That was a bit of a lame duck throw that time by Luke Hall, and a 50-50 jump ball. The basketball player, Justice Ferris, showing off his skills.
We used to have a drill, we call it dogfight drill, where you just throw it up there and you kind of fight for it, and that's exactly what that was. Is just Tanner was saying, my guy's better than yours, and we'll throw it up there, and wasn't the case that time.
Well, there you saw the basketball skills of Justice Ferris. He will be a 4-year player for the Fitch Falcons. Went up and got that jump ball, intercepted the ball just shy of the goal line. So Fitch will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 2-yard line off the interception. Nelly under center. Nelly turns, keeps it himself, and he is stuffed for no gain. Bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Falcons. Tyler Nelly that time keeping the ball himself, sticking his head down. He maybe got a yard or two, Coach, nothing more.
Yeah, I kind of missed what they even did with him. Was it just a quarterback sneak? Or
just a quarterback keep,
okay.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Right now, up 28-6, down at the 3-yard line. Just don't turn the ball over.
Right.
Keep the ball in the hands of no pass plays, Mike, tomorrow. Nelly, here he is, under center. 2nd down and 10 from the 2-yard line. Nelly, inside handoff goes to Scott. He breaks through the 2nd level. He shows his speed. Ball's on the turf, but he was already down, and there you go. How to get yourself out of trouble? Let's give the ball to number 22 and let him do his thing. Big run by Hollis Scott.
Well, he did what all great running backs do, and he cut back that time. He was the Montville over pursued, and he cut against the grain.
And now
he's all right.
Yeah, now he's shaking up a little bit on the play. Hollis Scott down, and this is very alarming if you're Coach Mike Ellis and the Fitch Falcons. Scott has done it all.
Yeah.
And he's a little bit frustrated out there. Maybe he's cramped up. 181 yards unofficially on the ground for Hollis Scott.
Yeah,
officially. That's official. 181 yards officially on the ground for Hollis Scott. And I hate seeing that young man down on the field like that.
Hopefully it's another cramp. We've seen a lot of cramps tonight. That kind of weather.
Kind of reaching at his face, pawing at his eyes. Both teams down. Class act by Montville down on, taking a knee and huddling together. And, boy, you just hope all it is a cramp for this young man. Because he is a senior and he has been the heart and soul of this Falcon team this year. Trying to put some pressure on I believe his left knee is what's hurting him right now. This does not look good right now if you're the Fitch Falcons. Hollis Scott right now, obviously in some sort of pain.
Steve Carlo went out there, Dr. Carlo, and he usually doesn't go out on cramps. So
We'll get Mike tomorrow down. Yeah, Mike's going to go down there and find out what's going on with Hollis Scott, and we'll keep an eye on that. He's just a workhorse and an outstanding young man for this Fitch football program. All right, so here we go. Back to the action. Fitch first down and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Nelly on the option, keeps it himself, and he is wrapped up for no gain by a host of Indians. We'll bring up second down and call it 9.
Interestingly, if you're an option team, your backup fullback is going to be pretty good too. So now they got a fresh guy back there. It might be even worse for Montville, believe it or not. I don't know how it could be, but
that fresh guy is running back number 24, is senior Tyler Andrews.
Okay.
So he is no stranger to handling the football. Fitch in no hurry though. Just under 9 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter, leading 28-6. A lot of big plays by Hollis Scott. He is out of the game right now, and that is number 44, Pedro Mojica, in the backfield, replacing Hollis Scott. Nelly comes down the line, keeps it himself, turns upfield, ball's on the turf, and it looks like Montville's going to take over. So a wet ball that time and a busted play at the line of scrimmage. Tyler Nelly kept it himself, and he's stripped of the football. Montville will take over at the Fitch 34-yard line.
Yeah, he was got a little bit careless on that one because he had already committed himself as a runner.
Second time we saw tonight, Coach, the upper hand tackle that time. Right. Nelly's holding the ball a little loosely, so some good tackling technique by the Montville Indians.
He had the ball in a position where he could pitch it, but there was no way he could pitch it that far downfield anyway. So at that point, you want to tuck it away.
Struggling to try and, like you said, pitch.
Yeah.
He tuck and run.
He's
Probably
so used to practicing that way.
Sure. Montville will take over first and 10 from the Fitch 35-yard line. Fitch has turned the ball over 3 times in this ball game. Hasn't hurt them just far.
Risk reward.
Montville comes to the line of scrimmage, moving left to right. Luke Hall, junior quarterback, shotgun formation. Gennard Davis, his big guy's in the slot. Handoff goes inside to Angel, sticks his head down, gains a yard. At best, will bring up second down. Let's stay right there. Second down and 10 for the Indians. 8 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. 28-6 as Fitch leads Montville. Keith O'Brien filling in for Casey O'Neill, the coach. Mike Emery up in the booth. A little wind, a little rain out there, and game moving very slow here in the fourth quarter. Second down and 10. No gain on that play by Angel. Luke Hall brings his team to the line of scrimmage. Shotgun formation. Davis in the slot. Angel single back set. Hall dumps out in the flat. Pass is intercepted. Looking for number 6, Emmanuel Mayfield on that play. Incomplete will bring up third down and 10 for the Indians. Coach, and the big concern right now in this ballgame is down on the sidelines with Hollis Scott. He's being attended to.
Yeah, and every sport, there's nothing you can do about that. You just have to keep your fingers crossed and hope he's all right.
Just got the word from Mike DeMauro on the sidelines that Hollis Scott has got a cramp.
Now that's good news.
That's good news indeed. He'll work that cramp out and give him some of that special Tom Brady water. Third down and 10. Montville from the Fitch 36. Inside handoff again goes to Mayfield. Turns it upfield. Gets about 3 yards the hard way through the middle of the defense. Coach will bring up fourth down for Montville.
Fitch's 3 interior guys are just so physical. They're moving the line of scrimmage back, the nose guard and the 2 defensive ends. They used to call them tackles,
Austin,
now they call them ends.
Number 57, Austin Beebe. Right. Number 70, Devin Jordan.
Yep.
And to give me the number of the other guy on the outside, number 24, that would be the outside linebacker.
He's the outside linebacker,
yeah, he plays linebacker, Tyler Andrews.
Yeah.
Plays linebacker, he plays fullback, he plays running back. So, again, you see the speed and the power up front for the Fitch Falcons.
Right.
Game day. Keith O'Brien, the sports doctor, the coach, Mike Emery, 28-6 as the Fitch Falcons lead with about 7 minutes left to go here in the ballgame. Game is slowed down a little bit here in the fourth quarter. Fourth down and 7 coming up for the Indians. And a little bit of confusion on the field. Coach, get things straightened out, and Montville comes to the line of scrimmage. Montville's played a good ball game tonight. They just haven't had enough playmakers to stay with Fitch.
Yeah.
Hall out of the shotgun formation. In motion. Comes number 19, Velez, turns it upfield, and he is stopped short of the first down. Are they going to give him the first down, Coach?
Yeah, they're giving it to him.
They're going to give him the first down. A nice inside handoff, a little jet sweep that time by Marcus Velez. A good play call that time by Tanner Grove and the Montville staff.
The other guy up front is Helbig, who we talked about earlier. He's on the nose right now. But Fitch has made a few substitutions in there too. Not very many, but a couple.
1st and 10 Montville from the Fitch 23-yard line. Luke Hall, shotgun formation. Takes the snap, rolls right, looks in Davis's way, throws it out in the flat, and the ball is caught.
Wow.
Ball is picked off
Okay.
by Fitch. That ball was underthrown and picked off.
Fitch was in great position. For that to be caught by Davis would have been.
Third interception of the night thrown by Luke Hall, looking for his guy Davis in the flat, slightly underthrown. Ball is picked off, and Fitch will take over. And that will be the dagger for the Montville Indians. With 6 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the ball game. That was a bit of a 50-50 ball out there, Coach. It was tough to tell.
Yeah, Fitch is just so well coached on both sides of the ball. They were right where they were supposed to be that time.
Talk about that, the discipline in assignment football. Knowing your assignments, not helping other people, not leaving your man, not leaving your responsibility of the area.
That's all about trust. Once you lose trust in your teammates, then that's when you start to freelance. So it's all about trust. That's what it is. When you trust your teammates, then you can do your job. Hey, obviously at Fitch here, they right now anyway, they're trusting their teammates so they can zone in on what they're supposed to do.
How much does winning have to do with trust?
Everything. Winning is the great deodorant.
Yeah.
It's
kids believe in each other. They get something rolling,
right.
and this is game 3 in the season. How do you keep the team grounded? You just play week to week if you're Coach Mike Ellis.
Yeah, the whole thing is he's got to reverse it. Now that they've won, he's got to tear them apart at the films on Monday. To make them. They'll walk out of the films thinking they lost. Because and then if they lost, like Tanner should go the other way. And say, look at all the good things we did tonight, even though we lost. So it's kind of like a reverse.
Well, we're 6 minutes
psychology.
6 minutes and 15 seconds away from it looks like a Fitch victory right now. Tyler Nelly under center, 1st and 10 from his own 15-yard line. Nelly to the line of scrimmage for no gain. Tyler Nelly keeping the ball himself, trying to shake off a little rust. He fumbled the ball in the last possession the Falcons had, and just trying to get his rhythm and timing back a little bit at their quarterback.
I mean, they're not running triple option anymore. They're running, either a dive or a quarterback keep. But they're trying to dress it up with, like that's called whirly bird motion, where the kid came back in motion and then they went the opposite way,
So they've simplified the offense from the triple option.
Yeah, but they simplify it there, but then by formation and motions, they're trying to make it look more complicated than it is.
Yep. Hamir Stevens in the backfield, along with Pedro Mojica, filling in for Hollis Scott. Tyler Nelly under center.
Midline.
Nelly keeps it himself, sticks his head down, gets behind his big offensive line, and surges ahead for a short gain. Will bring up 3rd down for the Falcons.
That's what I was talking about earlier, that midline series that option offenses have. It's not set up very well for the fullback right now, but it is set up well for the quarterback.
The quarterback can see everything in front of him. Is that what it does?
Well, I don't think they're even going to read it.
Right.
It's too risky to read it right now.
Right.
But when Montville lines up with the nose guard and the center and guards both covered, the off tackle hole is there, and so you can fake it inside to the fullback and have the quarterback run off tackle.
3rd and 1 Fitch. 3rd and 1 from their own 25-yard line. Nelly under center. Straight up quarterback keeper. Gets behind his center. Surges ahead for 2 yards. And a Fitch first down. And more importantly, Coach, it keeps the clock moving in Fitch's behalf.
That's all they need to do. Just keep the chains moving and tick some time off. I don't think Montville will really bother to call timeouts at this point.
We are under 5 minutes left to go in the ball game. And as an official's timeout, official will call a timeout. Looks like an injury timeout. Looks like another cramp out there on the defensive line for the Montville Indians. Exactly what it is.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
This time of the game. What about that Tom Brady water you were talking about, Coach?
Well,
drink that yourself? Do you eat the avocado ice cream and all that stuff?
I don't like water myself. You know.
You don't like water?
Yeah, I'm just
Diet
don't
Coke
like
guy, Coach?
Diet Mountain Dew. The worst thing you can drink.
There you go. You're a pillar of health, though. 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. Nelly under center. Nelly, pitch on the outside. Hamir Stevens dances across the line, and a flag down. He's tackled for a very short gain. Could be another late hit on the far side of the field.
Looks like it, yeah.
Coach, what do you think about Tom Brady at 40 years old doing the things he's doing?
I think it's great. You know, if he can do it, more power to him. I don't know if it's all that TB12 stuff or if it's just good genes, you know, but he's certainly doing more than any. The last 40-year-old I remember that anyone paid attention to was George Blanda.
Sure, yeah, kicker, yeah.
He looked like he was about 70 when he was 40.
Here's a personal foul against the Montville defense on the far side. It will give the Falcons an easy 15 yards, and 15 yards this offense doesn't really need. Some chippiness and probably a little frustration over there for the Montville Indians, and rightfully so. They trail 28-6 with 4.5 minutes left to go in the ballgame.
It could be, but I don't see much dialogue between the two teams. And
No.
I think that was just one of those, he's out of bounds, but I didn't see him out of bounds.
Sure.
So, you know, it could be.
1st and 10 Falcons from their own 44-yard line. 4:27 and counting, up 28-6. The Falcons in control. Nelly under center. Nelly straight up handoff. Mojica breaks into the second level. Mojica filling in nicely for Hollis Scott into the second level. 17 yards on the play for big number 44.
If you're an option team, you're always going to have a good backup fullback, for sure.
Yeah, Pedro Mojica, one of those kids that's been around a few years here at Fitch, that's for sure.
That was a nice run, and that was the midline play too, I believe. And but they gave it to the fullback that time. They might have trapped it. I didn't really look at the blocking scheme.
Well, there you go. They get once you wear down that defensive line from Montville and get into the second level. I mean, doesn't matter who it is, Scott or Mojica.
Right.
They both got some quick feet.
Difference is, I think Scott would have went.
He's got some. Yeah. 1st and 10, Fitch from the Montville 40-yard line. Nelly under center. Reads down the line. Nelly is stopped for no gain. A little bit confusing down there on that far side on the triple option. Tyler Nelly on the keeper. We'll bring up 2nd down and 9 as we are 3.5 minutes left in this ball game. Fitch leads 28-6. In control, Keith O'Brien, Game Day, today.com. The coach, Mike Emery, filling in just nicely for the role I usually do, and has forgotten more about football than I'll ever know.
Montville looks like they'll have a successful year this year. I think Fitch is pretty good, and Montville's got some good skill kids.
Listen, I called it back at the passing league with these guys at the day. I told them, I said, Fitch is going to be pretty special. Nelly up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 9. Tyler Nelly up the middle. Goes Mojica. Sticks his head down and grinds out 2 yards. Just hang on to the football, the battle cry right now for Mike Ellis and the Fitch Falcons.
Yeah, that was just the trap play, the same play that Hollis was running earlier. They fake the jet and give it to him on the trap.
You know, this is Mike Ellis' 3rd year here too at Fitch, and what does that have to do with the success? You know, the kids are starting to know him. They're starting to buy in a little bit. Is that important, Coach?
It takes a while to get your program going, for sure. Yeah, and he has the disadvantage too that I had when I first came here is that he's not a teacher in the school.
Okay.
He still teaches at Waterford.
Right.
So
it's a little harder for him to earn the trust and get to know the kids.
It's hard because what happens is
3rd and 7. Coach, we'll get back to that in a second. 3rd and 7, Fitch. Outside pitch goes to Stevens. Stevens has got a lane on the outside, dances ahead, and picks up 7 yards. Hamir Stevens' best run of the ball game has Fitch close to another 1st down.
There's a lot of things that happen during the school day. You know, it could be a simple thing as your star player, his girlfriend breaks up with him. You know, it is. It's like that.
All right.
And if you're there, you can nip those things in the bud. If you're not, it all happens when you show up.
That kind of stuff happens?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy,
No
star
question
player.
about it, yeah.
Star player had a bad game tonight because his girlfriend dumped him in homeroom.
Well, it might not be a bad game, but it would be a practice. You know,
Yeah, I got you. I got you. He's hanging his head and he's not firing all cylinders. All right, 4th down for the Falcons. Thanks, Coach. 4th down and 2 from the 33-yard line of Montville. Fitch will go for it. Nelly under center. Nelly, inside handoff. It goes again to Mojica, and he's stopped, and the ball's out. Ball is out on the turf. Mojica was stuffed for no gain, so I think the fumble is obsolete right now.
Didn't matter.
Didn't matter one bit, but the Montville defense late in this ball game holds serve. Good sign for Tanner Grove that there's no quit in his kids.
Mike is really lucky, Mike Ellis, that he's got Jordan Panucci here, who's a social studies really
Right.
great teacher, and he was the head coach a few years ago, and
Sure.
he can put those fires out during the day.
We have 1:15 seconds left to go in a very fast-moving football game. It's been the Hollis Scott Show here at Fitch Field, Falcon Field. They lead 28-6. Montville will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Luke Hall has played a heck of a game at quarterback. He's in the shotgun formation. He hands off to Nick Angel. Nick Angel is met at the line and stonewalled by the Falcon front four. Mike have played a great ball game this afternoon. Nick Angel is going to need a nice bath or a hot shower after this one.
That's raising of the white flag at that point. You know, it's 28-6, and he's just trying to run the clock out, I think, which is smart.
Clock running indeed, 53 seconds and counting, and Montville in no hurry right now. So Fitch Falcons, they could be moving to 3-0 for the first time, I believe, since what, 2001 or 2000?
That's what Mike said.
2000,
yeah,
2001.
2001, yeah.
There you go. You brought him good luck tonight, Coach. And you've got ties on both sides. Luke Hall, quarterback keeper, just running out the clock as we approach 30 seconds left to go. Mike, just a quick reflection on both the jobs Tanner Grove and Mike Ellis are doing, not only with their respective schools, but high school football in general.
Tanner is the winningest coach in the history of Montville High School, you know, so that says a lot for him right now. And he's had great teams. This one's going to be pretty good, I think. They'll win more games than they lose, for sure.
Sure.
They just ran into a good team tonight, and a really good back in Hollis Scott.
Now, does Fitch have a chance to measure up pretty well in this league?
I think they do, yeah. They're going to have – Norwich is going to be really good.
Yeah.
So.
And that would be the end of the ball game with the Fitch Falcons 28-6 victorious tonight over the Montville Indians. Montville drops to 2-1 on the year. Fitch improves to 3-0. Mike, I can't thank you enough for sitting in.
Thank you.
You know, this has been it's been a great ball game, and you know the things that you have done, you know, in sports, not only for Southeastern Connecticut and statewide, you're very well respected, and to have you up here in the booth and be able to call the ball game is tremendous.
Thanks, Keith. I loved it. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Coach area is Mike Emery, and he'll be watching the Patriots, and he's shaking hands and kissing babies like he used to own the school or something like that. All right, that's the final score here tonight. I'm going to get down in the field. I'm going to talk to Mike Ellis. I'm going to talk to Hollis Scott. Listen, game day. I miss you out here, Casey O'Neill. Tune in Thursday. Game day will have a little something different for you guys. Friday night football. Coach, we'll see you soon. Wrapping things up for the entire crew. Mike Demaro, Peter Wappy, Tim Cook, Carlos Vierhen, everybody. Peter Wappy up in the Bird's Nest up there in center field. Thanks for listening tonight, and keep an eye on Tuesday morning for Wired Zone, the video package. You'll just see the story of this football game. Thank you for tuning in and listening to Game Day on theday.com.